I want to highlight four forces, four megatrends, if you will, that are impacting us greatly. First of all, our society is experiencing growing religiosity among all faiths, even though the non-religious form a growing minority. But the people who are religious are becoming more religious, more fervent, more formal in their beliefs. It's a worldwide phenomenon. People everywhere take their faiths more seriously and practice them more fervently. In itself, this is not a bad thing at all, because religion is a deeply held conviction, personal conviction. It guides one's conscience and gives one a profound sense of the meaning and purpose of life. But as convinced as one may be of one's own faith, we cannot get carried away and show disrespect to other people's faiths or other people's gods. In Singapore, we strongly oppose exclusionary practices, practices that discourage people of different faiths from interacting with one another as fellow citizens. This year, our religious leaders came together and made a formal collective declaration that it's entirely proper, indeed it's praiseworthy, for people of different faiths to befriend one another, to exchange felicitations on each other's religious festivals, and eat together, despite different dietary rules. All common sense, none to be taken for granted. Second, being a small and open society, Singapore is particularly susceptible to external influences. Every racial and religious group in Singapore has extensive links with larger communities abroad belonging to the same race or the same faith. All our religions have their roots elsewhere and take guidance from superior authorities somewhere else. We are a small island, but we are not an island unto ourselves. It is not possible. And with globalization, these links have blossomed. They enrich our society and allow us to learn from others, but they can also import disputes and troubles from other lands that will undermine our social cohesion. We do our best to insulate ourselves from other people's problems, knowing full well that complete disengagement is impossible. So we ban or we expel foreign preachers who bring their foreign quarrels to Singapore, or who seek to persuade Singaporeans to practice their religions in ways that are not appropriate to our society. At the same time, we explain to Singaporeans that different societies often practice the same religion in different ways, and we try to inculcate in ourselves confidence and pride in our own way of doing things, our own practices and norms. Thirdly, social media has altered the way people communicate. It helps provocative views to circulate and gain currency. Charismatic, radical preachers have built followings in the tens of millions online. And a single offensive or thoughtless post that goes viral can be seen by millions within a few hours and create a tense situation when all was peace and calm the night before. It has become dangerously easy for people both to cause offense and also to take umbrage. We must not allow those who spread toxic views and poison on the internet to get away with what may literally be murder. Policing the internet is a Sisyphean task, but we must keep our laws updated and devise fresh and effective countermeasures. Thus, we recently passed a new law, the Protection from Online Falsehoods and Manipulation Act. It gives the government and the courts powers to require the correction of misinformation and falsehoods, which are online, and to take action against those who deliberately spread such untruths, and to deal with websites that give them a platform to do so. It's a problem which many countries are grappling with. This is our approach to it. We continue to learn from others, and maybe other people will find something interesting in the way we have decided to tackle our problem. Fourthly, violence in the name of race or religion is a real and present danger. There will always be some people who pervert and misuse religion to justify their violent ends. For example, just after the September 11 attacks in 2011, we uncovered in Singapore a jihadist group linked to Al-Qaeda. It was a total surprise to us. And they were planning to attack multiple targets in Singapore, including the US Embassy and visiting US armed forces, and advanced in their plans. Had they succeeded, Singapore would have been ground zero. It would not only have caused death and destruction, but could have torn apart our social fabric. Because non-Muslims in Singapore would have looked at their Muslim compatriots with suspicion and anger, while Muslim Singaporeans would have feared for their safety from non-Muslims. Having preempted the physical attack and neutralized the group, we immediately strove to reinforce trust and confidence between the religions. We talked openly about the danger so that everyone knew these were the actions of extremists who did not reflect the views of Singapore Muslims in general. Behind closed doors, we shared sensitive intelligence about the threat with religious and community leaders of all faiths. And we put them together in the same room when we brief them, so that we speak candidly and everybody knows that we're briefing everybody the same message. We're not broadcasting different messages to different groups. And you have to confront this problem together as Singaporeans. The leaders understood the problem, felt trusted, and did their part to keep Singapore united. Muslim leaders came out to condemn the terrorists and affirm their solidarity with non-Muslims. Non-Muslim leaders, in turn, expressed understanding and continued confidence in their Muslim brethren. A group of respected Islamic scholars and teachers volunteered to set up the Religious Rehabilitation Group, the RRG, to counsel and rehabilitate radicalized individuals, as well as look after their families and offer support and guidance. Because you can lock a terrorist away, but for how long? And what do you do with their families? And how do you explain to the community? But if you can persuade him, if you can turn him around, if you can get him to see the light, and be able to get back into the community and integrate back and find a job and find his place and understand the error of his ways, then we've not only saved a soul, we've kept our community together. We have not succeeded in every case. There are a few who are still there since 2001, and I think will take a very long time to persuade. But the majority, we have been able to rehabilitate, to release, and to bring back to normal life. And we've done that probably to 80% of the people we've picked up, 90%, with only a couple who have relapsed and come back again. So with conviction, with cooperation, with confidence, it is possible to get religious leaders, responsible ones, respected ones, on your side, doing good work, helping to bring a very multi-religious society together. Through these strenuous efforts, we've succeeded in maintaining multi-religious confidence. And since then, we've kept up our efforts. The danger of a terrorist attack continues, whether it's from ISIS or Al-Qaeda, or recently, in the last few years, some misguided soul self-radicalized by extremist propaganda which he or she has found online. And if such an attack ever happens, Singaporeans must hold together as one nation.